You're listening to an interview with a featured Pride of Dakota member.
Hi, this is Sarah Kelsch, and today I'm sitting down with Robert Schuler with Giant Snacks. Welcome, Robert.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so tell the listeners, what is Giant Snacks? What do you guys do?
Well, Giant Snacks has predominantly been in the sunflower industry. We've had a brand for about 16 years now. We've sold now in about nearly all 50 states at some point, but pretty solid in about 35 states with our brand Giants. And up until probably about a year and a half ago, that's all we did was sunflower seeds. And then we started and got into pumpkin seeds and now into our toasted corn.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So what made you guys think about finally branching out?
Well, we had the idea quite a few years ago. We've done some things with toasted corn in the past, and it just quite what we thought. And we got the idea 5 years ago, and we thought if we could get a larger corn and a softer corn, that would be worth it. So they started about 5 years ago, and found a geneticist out in California who said he could deliver it, and so we started a relationship with him, and 5 years later, we're here today, finally with the product at market.
You said they're softer, so they're not teeth breakers then? They're
right, yeah, and that was really the goal. Is we thought if we ever did come to market with a product, it's definitely got to be something softer that consumers will enjoy quite a bit more and not be nervous to eat when they're having a toasted corn snack.
Gotcha. And what about the pumpkin seeds? That's kind of a unique product to spin.
Yeah, and that kind of fell in line too with what we're trying to do with a larger, more premium sunflower seed. We thought we'd try the same thing with a pumpkin seed, and it doesn't turn the same volume as sunflowers, but it is a nice complement to the product as well. And we were able to source and find a product with pumpkin seeds as well. So
how do you like? I know how you get pumpkin seeds, but like how do you find suppliers of pumpkin seeds?
Well, pumpkin seeds I think it's 90% are grown in China. So, yeah, that was kind of the one thing that kept us out for a long time. And we had a couple contacts in the industry that, they said, hey, the pumpkin seeds are pretty good. And so we've got processes in place too when we built our facility down in Wapton. Then we're able to clean them quite a bit more than we would have been able to in the past. And so we're able to, they say they're clean, but typically we bring them in and clean the heck out of them, and so they're great when they go in the bag, and they're ready to eat, and they're up to our quality standards. Okay, so did you just release these two new products? Is that correct? We released pumpkin seeds about a year and a half ago. The toasted corn we were in the process of releasing. We just finished packaging on all three flavors last week. 2 flavors were done about 3 weeks ago. Okay, what flavors do you make out of those? We got a hickory bacon ranch, and then we've got a sea salt and pepper, and then a honey barbecue rib is the 3 flavors. Wow, those are pretty unique flavors. Yeah, and that's kind of one thing we thought people would like is people tend to like innovation in flavors and uniqueness. So we started, with this one, I want to say about 15 different flavor ideas and whittled it down to about 6, and then we finally got our last 3 and took those to market. Wow. Okay. So, and the pumpkin seeds, do you do anything with those? As far as not flavor wise. Nope. Just salted, just regular salted. And what has the response been to those, the pumpkin seeds? The pumpkin seed's good. Surprising, for us, it was kind of newer. I mean, we had some idea of what we were getting into, but once I guess you get into a different type of consumer, you don't really know what to expect until you get the product to them and have them try it. So it's been really good, and it's kind of funny. When we started selling it, we can tell by going to convenience stores and supermarkets what's not on the shelf anymore, and we had a lot of outs, so people weren't ordering enough, and they were selling well. So it's done well. So when you introduce a new product like that, and you guys have a big name, a recognizable name, is it released nationwide? Do you do just test markets? How does that work with the new products? Yeah, it's typically we would do a test market, and that's what we were going to do with the corn initially, because the way the corn is grown, it's taken from a variety in the Andes Mountains in Peru, and it's actually grown now in California, and that's what they've been working on with Dr. Don Shaver out there is to develop something that can grow in the U.S. that's larger, and then grow it here. we thought we only would have enough acres to introduce it actually up in California. And then we found out we had a lot more product than we thought. So it was kind of a race to develop it nationwide. So that's kind of a good bad thing, because it's been busy spring, a more busy spring than we ever thought it would be.
Well, that's a good problem.
That is, yeah.
So let's go back a little bit to, how did the company get started? How did Giants start? Yeah,
I guess we're a family-owned business. My grandfather and his brother started in sunflower seeds many years ago, over 60 years ago. And my dad, when he graduated from NDSU, had started a research company with sunflower seeds with his professor in college from here. And so they'd worked for years in developing bigger, better sunflower brands, or breeds and hybrids, I should say. And he at one time we had these large sunflower seeds that they were selling over to Europe. And so literally we were taking the best quality, what we thought was the best quality, and selling them overseas and not selling to anybody here in the United States. And so my father approached two of the larger companies at the time, and they said, "Good idea, Jay, but we don't want to pay a little bit more for a better product." And he said, "Well, let's bag them up and give it a shot." And kind of the rest is history from there. So we've just slowly grown every year and to where we're at now. So,
well, that's awesome. So was it a natural fit then for you to stick with the company, or?
Yeah, and about that time I was in high school, and so I actually took my summers and started selling about 1 year after we started. So I did that all the way through high school and college, and after I was done with that, actually my brother came to work for the company at the same time, and I left. I went to Arizona for a few years and came back about 7 years ago, and been selling seeds ever since.
All right. So do you guys have like distributors set up, or, how quickly has this grown to?
Yeah. And that's probably the hardest part to get into a market, is you've got distributors, and to get into a distributor is one thing, and then to get into the stores another. And for every product you introduce or you want to bring to market, for every birth, there's got to be a funeral. So you've got to take something off the shelf that has probably been there for a while, and you're replacing it. So that's really the biggest barrier to entry. And we ship now to about 150 different distributors throughout the U.S.
Wow.
So, yeah, if you go to a local gas station, I mean, they're going to get their product from a distributor that's going to bring them anything from their Snickers candy bar to their sunflower seeds, and runs the whole gamut. So,
and how many flavors do you guys have now on your sunflower seeds?
That's a good question. We just came out with the Kettle Roast, which is our newest sunflower seed flavor, under our Giants label, and it's made with sugar and sea salt, and it's got about 40% less sodium, so it satisfies that niche, but it's also a unique flavor. And with 40% less sodium, I'm a salt guy. I would have thought, no way I would like that regularly, but that's the only thing I eat now. I just like the lesser sodium. It doesn't tear your mouth up as much, and so that's been a really unique product for us too.
So is it sweet, or is it just not as salty?
Yeah, it's got a hint of sweetness to it with the sugar in it. Yep. Cool. So it's roasted with that, and then it's also got a little bit of the salty sweet flavor. That's why, if you've eaten kettle corn, it's not a strong flavor, but it's definitely unique like that. It's great.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we've got a ranch, a barbecue, spicy garlic, dill pickle, salt and pepper.
I have to give a shout out to dill pickle. Those are my absolute favorite.
Yeah, that's our number one flavor. So
Is it?
You're not alone.
I was just going to ask what the number one flavor was. Excellent. It makes me want to pick some up now.
And that's the crazy thing about the flavors is, when we came out with our flavors, we started with dill pickle. And at the time, the number one flavors around were ranch and barbecue, just kind of your standard flavors. And we thought we'd be a little bit more innovative, and that was our first. And our second was salt and pepper, and those two are still our top two selling flavors other than original.
Salt and pepper are actually pretty spicy.
Yeah, they got some kick to them.
They do.
Yeah,
they
definitely.
do. We had got some seeds from you guys. I think you borrowed the mobile food unit.
Oh, yeah.
To try out the sweet seeds, I think is when you were working on that. So
yeah.
We had sore mouths for quite a while, because we'd be like, oh, let's open this bag and try this flavor now. So that was we did our own little taste testing up at work. So they're all very good, but I was surprised by the salt and pepper, how spicy that was. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, we have a lot of people that come up to me and tell me they mix the salt and pepper in with the regular. And the further south you go, the better the salt and pepper does. When you get down to like New Mexico, that type of area, salt and pepper does unbelievable, and dill falls off a little bit. And the further north you come, so you get a lot of different tastes around this country, and what people think are spicy and what we think are spicy up here.
Yeah, we're pretty weak compared to other parts of the country. So besides the new products you're working on, what are the future plans for the company?
Yeah, we've got a couple other products we're working on. We'll hopefully come out with this fall. Not really releasing anything on it yet, but we've got some that are venturing a little further outside of the nut category. So it'll keep me and our team pretty busy this summer.
And how many people are employed with Giants?
Right now in the summer, we're around about 45 employees, and then once winter comes, we'll go down to about 35. So we do hire some temporary in the summer, just with immense amount of volume we do in the summertime, and once the weather turns, it typically seed sales turn, so it'll pick up quite a bit. It has picked up quite a bit. So.
And what was the name of your toasted corn product? Did you say?
It's just Giants toasted corn, and it's pretty noticeable. That's why we kept. It's got our same Giants label on it.
Okay.
So you'll be able to know if you know what it looks like on the sunflower seeds. It looks pretty similar to what that looks like. So people should be able to recognize it pretty well.
Okay, and I see your seeds in products everywhere. But if people are curious where they can find them, or they want more information, how do they find you guys?
Yeah, you can either go, we have two websites. It's either giantsnacks.com or giantseeds.com. You can find information at both sites. And then also hopefully within your convenience stores within the next week to a month. It just depends on who's getting them or where. Some do have them now, and some will be getting them shortly. And we're making them fast and furious because we do have a lot of requests for them. And really, honestly, if you've ever tried a corn product before or haven't before, these are great. And the only complaint I've ever had is we need bigger bags. So that's good. Usually everybody wants to say you should do this, you should do that, and I haven't gotten any of that. So I'm
bigger
excited.
Bags is a good one. Cool. Well, it's been fun having you on, and I'm anxious to try out your new products.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks for
Robert. Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
To learn more about this featured Pride of Dakota member, visit our website, prideofdakota.com. To become a featured Pride of Dakota member, send an email to prideofdakota@gmail.com. To listen to the full podcast of North Dakota Now, click on the podcast link on our website, prideofdakota.com. Thanks for listening.